Imagine being blamed for a war, fined billions of dollars as the price tag for that war, stripped of a lot of your land after the war, and then told that you can't have an army big enough to protect yourself in terms of the next war. That's exactly what's going to happen to Germany in 1919 after the First World War. You see, the Treaty of Versailles does not just end World War I, it plants the seeds for the Second World War. In order to understand that complex relationship, you have to be able to understand all 5 terms of the Treaty of Versailles. In this video, we're going to break down all 5 of them so that you can understand history a lot more clearly. Let's get into it. All right, welcome back. As I said in my little intro, today we are breaking down the 5 terms of the Treaty of Versailles. In my last video, I broke down the Paris Peace Conference and we met the big 3. We talked about what each of them wanted and why one of those parties got their way more so than the other 2 did. Today, we're breaking down the treaty itself, all 5 parts, and how they impact Germany. Let's go. All right, so the Treaty of Versailles is going to be signed June 28th, 1919. You see, it's signed at the Paris Peace Conference. The Treaty of Versailles is the largest document that comes out of the Paris Peace Conference, but it's not the only document that comes out of the Paris Peace Conference. All right, there are other treaties related to the other loser nations of the First World War. The Treaty of Versailles really just deals with Germany. There are 440 total clauses in the Treaty of Versailles, 26 applied to the creation of the League of Nations. The 414 other parts of the Treaty of Versailles all deal with the punishment of Germany. Now, you can distill all 440 different clauses of the Treaty of Versailles into 5 different terms or parts, whatever word you want to use. In this video, we're going to break down all 5, sorry. The first part of the Treaty of Versailles, and the order really doesn't matter, is going to be the war guilt clause. All right, this is going to state that Germany is to blame for the war. All right, this is going to be a twofold kind of thing. All right, not only are they blamed for the outcome, the start of the war, they're also kind of blamed for all of the death that the war caused. All right, this is going to be an incredible burden on the German people who feel like they didn't start the war, but it also is going to be a justification for all of the punishments that follow. Here I have a little quote for you, all right, from Article 231 of the Treaty of Versailles, which is the war guilt clause. You can pause and read on your own if you want. Next up, Part 2 of the Treaty of Versailles is we've got reparations. So building off of that idea that it's Germany's fault for the war, they have to pay the price tag for that war. All right, a couple years later in 1921, the price tag is going to be set at 132 billion gold marks. That's roughly $33 billion, correlated to that time period, which is going to be a crazy economic burden on the German people. If you are studying the stuff that happens in Germany after, you have to understand what reparations does to the German economy. Here we have another quote. This sets up the reparation payments for Germany. This is Article 231 and 232 of the Treaty of Versailles. Again, pause and read if you want. Part 3, again, order does not matter, are going to be the territorial changes. Germany is stripped of 13% of its land and nearly 6 million citizens. Number 1, Alsace-Lorraine is going to be returned to France. That's going to be a big issue and was kind of an obvious outcome with the fact that Germany lost. All overseas colonies are going to be stripped. Some are given to other countries. Others are given back to the League of Nations as a part of the mandate system, which I'll break down in another video if that's, where we end up. Things like the Polish corridor are going to be used to create the country of Poland. The Saarland is going to become an independent state that's run as a mandate of the League of Nations. All these little different parts and regions of Germany. All right. And then if we talk about another treaty that comes out of the Paris Peace Conference, the Treaty of Saint Germain, the Sudetenland is also removed from Austria and used to create another country. So not only do we have German citizens that are now dispersed all over Europe, but we also have German blood, right? Germanic ancestry that's kind of dispersed in all of these new countries in Europe. And if you take a look at the map right here, you can really see that vast difference of Germany and Austria-Hungarian Empire prior to World War I and how much land they lose and what the modern Europe looks like after World War I. It literally redrew the map of Europe. Disarmament is another major part, and this is going to be super intricate, okay? The German military is going to go down to 100,000 men. I tell my students that's the number that you need to remember. Things like conscription are banned. The Navy is going to be reduced drastically. They're not allowed to have air force or tanks. Those are all minor details. The 100,000 troops is really what I tell my students to remember the most. That's kind of a nice, round, easy number. This not only is going to hurt Germany's ability to defend itself in the future, it's also a major economic hit because all of those young men that used to go into the military as their job now don't have that opportunity, and that's going to be something that has, an exponential toll later on in German history when we get there. The fifth idea of the Treaty of Versailles is the establishment of the League of Nations. So the covenant of the League of Nations, the foundation documents of the League are written in the Treaty of Versailles. All right. Germany is not deemed to be a peace-loving nation, so they are not allowed to join the League of Nations, all right, until much later, all right. In the mid-20s, Germany is finally invited because they proved to be a peace-loving nation with a different action, okay? But for now, they're not allowed in, and the League of Nations is established in the Treaty of Versailles documentation. All right, here's another little quote. That's the covenant of the League of Nations. Couple cartoons here. All right. This is for my history of the Americas people. All right. The United States Congress is not going to ratify the Treaty of Versailles because they feel like they will lose sovereignty. They feel like they will be dragged in to foreign entanglements by signing the covenant of the League of Nations. So by not signing Versailles, they are not allowed to join the League of Nations. That's what this cartoon represents. This one, spoiler alert, what's coming in the future is, this cartoon, that helmet right up there clearly says Hitler Party, okay? And they're kind of crawling out of Versailles. So that's what I meant in my intro. The end of World War I sowed the seeds of the Second World War and allowed for the climate of Hitler to exist in Germany to begin with. And last but not least, this is getting into my third part of this miniseries, the third issue, if you will, the third episode. And this is going to be the idea that it was a diktat for Germany. It was forced upon Germany. If you don't know what that means, I'll break that down in video 3 to come in the future. I hope that helped give you a clear understanding of the 5 terms of the Treaty of Versailles. Again, I'm going to have at least one more episode in this little mini-series, so if you're an IB History Year 1, an AP History student, a college history student, kind of any level of high school history student, I hope this video helped you. Please make sure to check out the third video for the effect and impact that it has on Germany immediately. And like always, please like and subscribe so that you can stay in touch with the channel as I keep punching out videos. I'm going to have shorts that come out every afternoon, as well as long form videos once or twice a week, even through the summer. I'm really trying to grow this channel, so if you like what you see, please drop a like, subscribe, let me know how I'm doing. And if you have any ideas for videos in the future, please let me know. As always, be good.